something went wrong with the system.
Yeah.
So we closed that off. And now look at this laziness. Someone uses, they can't be bothered to put that on there, isn't it? It's a society where we have to have someone else doing things for us. We don't want to do it ourselves.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the old waste pipe.
Oh, for
So
the
I just
sink?
use that for spare
Yeah.
toilet bowls and stop the rain and the wind blowing around.
Yeah.
So this is the human manure system, where we just have a bucket inside.
Yeah.
And again, someone hasn't covered that properly with sawdust. When that's full, it's lifted out. Normally wait until there's 2 or 3 bins, 2 or 3 buckets full, and they go outside to the compost bin. It's better to carry, it's easy to carry 2 bins than 1. Also, you need the bulk to get the heat up.
Okay.
If it's only 1 at a time, you probably won't get it hot enough.
And does it stay in the plastic containers, or
no,
do you put lids on them?
It goes out onto a pile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the human manure system, written up by Joe Jenkins in a book called The Human Manure Handbook. I'm just going to fill this up with sawdust as well. Yeah. And that's round this way.
And you can wee and poo in it? Does it matter?
This system, it's important not to separate the urine and the feces.
Okay.
They both need to go in there. You need the nitrogen of the urine.
Okay.
The system. Whereas most other composting systems say, oh, we need to separate.
Yeah.
This one you don't need to, and you shouldn't.
Mm.
So, okay, I'll just leave that there for a minute. I'll fill them up before I take them back. So that's my sawdust supply. That's my hay supply. And this is the system. 3 bins. That's the oldest bin.
Yeah.
Now that was closed off back in August last year. Not to be emptied until August this year.
Okay.
So the full year goes, and it packs down as it gets older. The worms work it down, and they work it down.
Okay.
It was up to here when
it started. Okay.
it was closed off, and then this bin was the next one to be used, and that was closed off in February.
Okay.
So that stays there, and that will last again a year. This is the current one, and this
Looks
is
like it's getting full.
loaded just the same as the other one.
Yeah.
How
do you know it needs more hay?
Well, it's just that this packs it down. The sawdust packs it down, which I don't want to. No, maybe it's all right. Again, you lose the insulating properties.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you got to capture the
air. Hay is important. Now, exactly the same as the other one, and you put hay around the sides, and your composting initially takes place in the centre, so it's well insulated. That's where the heat takes place. And anything above 50 degrees is fine. You'll be killing pathogens with that. Within a few hours at 50, all human pathogens are killed.
Okay.
Take it up to 60, and with a very, very short time they're killed. So you can't guarantee that every spot in that pile in the middle is going to get up to that temperature. You can't guarantee that. But what you do have is the biodiversity of the bacteria, the fungi, and so on, and the worms. Over a year, they will convert that and totally sanitize it. Yeah. Absolutely safe to use on vegetables of any kind.
Yeah, right.
So by that time, it's not manure, it's compost.
And there's no smell. Like, can't smell pee, poo, nothing.
No, it's compost. It's not pee. It's not
probably
pee.
Better than the vegetable one.
It's not here. Now this lot here is compost.
Yeah, right.
You smell that? That's ordinary soil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally safe. That could be taken out now, but I'm just, again, from the public relations point of view, keeping that for a year before it's put out in the garden.
Yep.
So we are closing the cycle of nutrients through our bodies, not chucked out to sea, never to be seen again, not into a long drop, it's never touched again. Yeah. It comes into compost, it can be reused in the garden, and closing that cycle of nutrients.
Yep. The bit they don't teach you in geography at school.
That's right.
In the nutrient cycle.
That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Using the waste material, the sawdust. The carbon-nitrogen ratio is essential in composting. You've got to have around about 25 parts, 30 parts of carbon to 1 of nitrogen. And by covering the compost bin, when there's excreta going on there, covering that with sawdust, it tends to work out just about the right level.
Because that's the carbon, isn't it? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you have got sawdust, suppose in desert parts and so on, you could use rice husks.
Yeah.
You could collect up the camel manure, get that dry and pulverise that and cover that. The best thing you could do. Yeah. You could crumble up banana leaves or any leaves, dry them and crumble them and use that as a spread.
Yeah.
But you need the finer particles of sawdust to cover the surface, and for that reason you don't need an airtight lid.
Yeah.
Because the sawdust prevents the smell, prevents flies.
And if you didn't, like, because the way I've heard is like with wheelie bins and stuff like that, they just close them, seal them.
That's right. Yeah.
And yeah.
That's right. And no sawdust. Yeah. And they get so heavy you can't manage them.
Yeah. Okay.
This way, anyone can carry a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, with one on either side, it's much easier to carry.
Yeah.
It's easier to shoot into the bin.
Okay.
Have a check out with Joe Jenkins' website, the Human Your Handbook.
Yeah.
And it's everything in there. There's lots and lots of YouTube videos. There's account of him helping to set up the Amherst School in Haiti after the earthquake, which I visited there in 2012.
Yeah.
All that, and where he's working around the world, the places they're using it. It's amazing. Thank you. Amazing work he's doing. And this is all taken from that.
Because that's quite a good argument, isn't it? The whole, natural disaster relief, that sort of, sanitation.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably,
Just use the brush and clean out there. While I'm at it.
Might be the best way to get around council, I'm not sure.
Well, this is not installed,
Yeah.
It's not going off the property. There's no leachate at all comes from it. Everything is contained. Everything is sanitised naturally by bacteria. And there's nothing really much they can complain about. And I would say if they do want to complain, go read the book first and then come back to me and we discuss it.
Yeah. Yeah, because Cairns City Council won't have a bar of composting toilets.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
This council is not worried about it. And I try to see it from council's point of view. If they have allowed a composting toilet with a commercial type to be installed, if there's problems, the council can push it straight back to the manufacturer, so it's their problem.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If I, as an owner of a property who had something installed, I'm going to look after it and make sure it works because it's mine, it's my baby. But the next person that buys the house won't have that connection with it.
Yeah.
They get the problems, and who's the problems get to is the council.
Yeah,
that's why the council will get annoyed with it.
Yeah, okay. They have to come along and put in.
That's right. And they've got to cover themselves from litigation. I understand that, as painful as it is. So I'll try to work along with them. But this system is not installed. It's totally temporary. It can be moved and it can be disbanded.
Yeah.
It can't go wrong, except that if there's anything slightly does go wrong, if it starts to smell a bit more, all you do is add another handful of sawdust. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Less smell than you would get from a flush toilet.
Yeah.
So, it works.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we've got a solar powered light up the top there, which comes on at night only.
Handy. So it's a sensor?
Yes, sensor.
Yeah.
And it's set off every time. That one's for that.
Oh,
that
cool.
That one's up on top. Yeah.
For which? Oh.
There's a tiny sensor right up on top of it.
Okay. Easy.
And it goes off 30 seconds after you leave the place.
Yeah, okay. That's really great, isn't it? Oh, now I know where to come to the toilet.
When you're building these toilets, you need to have 3 or 4 buckets at least of the same size.
Yeah.
Because when you cut the hole in that wood in the top to make it fit the bucket,
yeah.
And it needs to come up, by the way, it needs to come up right up underneath there.
So the flies don't get in? Yeah.
Not so much flies, some kids will pee and so on, it goes
oh, okay.
Side.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Really a practical thing. But if you buy different buckets from different places, there might be 5 millimetres difference.
Okay.
So don't fit. So you get all 4 buckets together. And then I paint them, say no one is going to take those buckets to use on something else. As anyone will pick up a bucket and use it.
Yeah.
With this system over here, again, if it's your own backyard, you can put paper in the compost, no problems at all.
Yep.
The worms will eat it, it'll break down, no problems.
Yeah.
But in a public facility, if you start adding paper there, and it shows above the surface, someone comes along and thinks it's a garbage heap.
Yeah.
So they put more paper, more rubbish on it.
So you mean like writing paper or?
Well, yes, writing paper, newspaper, that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Doilies, serviettes, there we go in.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand the difference between paper and plastic.
Yeah.
Like a Mars bar wrapper and so on, which is plastic. So with this system, I say no paper. It's a public system. And the other thing is, people seem to think that the detergent is the cleaner. It's not.
What's it? What does it
Detergent
do?
is
Just
not the cleaner.
no.
Water is the cleaner.
Okay, detergent dissolves the fats. And
No, it's just a wetting agent. That's all it is. Just
Yeah.
allows the water to get to the fat.
yeah.
It doesn't actually dissolve the fat. It allows the water to contact the
Hello,
fat. So the water is the cleaner every time.
I'm having a composting lesson.
Okay, if you're using something like a spirit, methylated spirits or something,
Yeah.
yes, okay, that dissolves the stuff.
Okay.
But in case of washing, it's the water every time which is the cleaner, whether it be detergent or soap. That is just a wetting agent.
So when they say, antibacterial and all that sort of stuff,
That's what they say, but you'd need to have that material in contact with the bacteria for a certain length of time for it to kill the bacteria.
Mhm.
And they don't tell you that. And the amount of disinfectant they put in it.
just mobilises the bacteria.
Yeah. And you don't need to. Here we're making use of bacteria, simply avoiding the ones which are going to cause a smell and harm. And most pathogens, anyway, to us are anaerobic. So you put water to it and let the whole thing dry out, and the air getting to the bin is the most valuable thing for killing pathogenic bacteria. I don't use any detergent or any disinfectant on these buckets.
Yeah.
If you do, you'll find they start to smell.
Yeah, right. Because it kills the natural bacteria, or
Well, you encourage the anaerobic bacteria, and you tend to kill any of the beneficial bacteria. So what I do now is I get a bit of clay.
Do you ever put sand into compost, or do you do that?
So what, sorry?
Do you ever put sand into compost?
Sand? No, not sand and not soil.
Yeah.
Don't put soil into compost. It can tend to pack it down, and it's not necessary. And different people have different ideas of what we mean by soil. It can be sandy, it can be clay, or whatever. So I only put the food waste and the cover material, like sawdust and hay, into the compost.
Yeah.
And if you want to put lime on or ashes, put that onto the soil, on the growing beds in the garden, not in the compost.
Yeah.
Heat.
Yeah. Good to have plastic gloves too, by the look of it.
Sorry?
Good to have plastic gloves too.
It is.
What does the sawdust do?
Well, it just cleans it.
Yeah.
And it leaves it dry.
Yeah, okay.
And in fact there's fungi and all that falling on the sawdust, which is fine, no problems with it. And I like to get it clean and dry, non-smelly, so it's fit to go back in the kitchen.
Yeah.